Hey everybody, it's HUSTUSA, and I'm making this video today. I tried to make it yesterday, and for some reason my camera just didn't want to work, and I forgot to try this way here, so I got it working. But yesterday was 5/14/2018, which was the fourth anniversary of the fire, the Poinsettia fire in 2014 that was originally called an arson fire, which it totally was an arson fire, and it was sent to burn me out. Now, if you've already tuned out, then sorry for you. But a lot of this sort of thing happened during Obama, and yesterday I got confirmation that somebody was sentenced to 2 years for lighting that fire. Now it's up to me really to make the connection between Obama and this guy, which would be pretty hard to do. So that's why I'm making this video for future connection, hopefully. And I also wanted to say that the frustration of yesterday was wiped away really by several events that occurred. And probably God sent events, the way I see it. And by the way, I've got the Pacific Street side window closed and the ocean side almost completely open. So when people walk by, they're going to maybe yell at me. I don't know. But yesterday, I did have kind of a nice little greeting in the morning after spending a couple hours on the internet down at City Hall, parked on the street. I showed up at the bench and I was working here on the laptop in the van, and a girl walked by and said, I agree with your sign on the back. And so we talked a bit, and she was across the hedge from me, clear over on the sidewalk, and I asked her to come over closer, and she did. And she felt comfortable with me and started telling me some pretty vital things in her life that meant that she was sent to me by God as well. And if they in fact are true, which I believe they were, because she would have had to have practiced a bunch telling me what she told me to have known it all so well. And I've been doing this for almost 4 years, and reading people for that long. Well, my whole career of construction, I read people too. So, but I believed her, and she had a Bible and had many sections, verses highlighted, and she was comparing our meeting to several areas. It was great. So it was heartwarming to have somebody walk up when nobody really has. I mean, people will silently, once the subject comes up, will silently go ahead. There's the neatest stuff flying by out here, so that's why I'm looking occasionally. That happened to be like a P-51 or something just flew by with another smaller plane. That's why the sound was off a little bit. There was two of them. So anyhow, that she ended up spending the day with me, like 5 hours or something. And we went to the library. I needed to get back to the library about 1 o'clock, so we went there, and it was great. Man, she was wonderful, but troubled. I mean, there's plenty in her life to have put her here, and she's on the street living in a tent, and I'm guessing 38, something like that. But I mean, that changed the whole dynamic of yesterday. And then I can't remember. There's like 3 other things, but the other important thing is that somebody came by yesterday that I regularly see, and I've known really since I've been out here 3.5 years. And we were talking, and I said, today happens to be the anniversary, the 4-year anniversary of the fire that put me on the street. And I showed him the photo, and I said, yeah, that's the Poinsettia fire. And he went, wow. He says, I just met the guy today that spent 2 years in prison for lighting that. I said, really? I said, well, do you know his name? He said, no, I don't know his name, but I figured that out. And the point is now I know for a fact that it was an arson fire. They changed the story 3 times from a titanium pitching wedge lit the fire, which, oh man, woo, to a one of their mowers backfired and metal debris came out the pipe. Ooh, yeah, that's believable too. So anyhow, it ended up being a wonderful day, and what I was going to do was make a video on that tragic day, but it wasn't a tragedy at all. See, it was a tragedy when it happened, but it was God getting a hold of me and having to take it away from me to get me to pay attention. And I had a residence there helping a guy with Alzheimer's, and it was going well except for his Alzheimer's. I told him we saw the fire coming, and I told him we had an hour and 15 minutes before it hit. And I said, wet down everything. Absolutely wet down everything. And so I'm down there for 45 minutes watering everything around the garage that I lived in. And all wood with an asphalt shingle roof with eucalyptus tree branches laying on the roof. Now, I mean, that would have lit the house if I hadn't have. But the house went up because after 45 minutes of me not seeing him do anything, I went up there and he was actually watering the potted plants. I said water everything, and he thought I meant the potted plants. No, I meant the eucalyptus trees that he planted way too close to his house when he was like a teenager and didn't know shit. And he still doesn't know shit. A lot of the reason for the Alzheimer's, and or vice versa. But I'm going to go ahead and post some of the fire video. I have lots, and my point is, by telling you that I know that it was arson, my point is I think 100 homeowners or something got together to sue the golf course that supposedly the engine muffler debris lit the fire. Yeah.
And I just hope I don't.
So I don't even know how that went. I don't know if it made it to court. I don't know if anybody got paid. I don't know any of that because nobody's come to me, and I honestly believe that I should be in the records, except for that explains why nobody's come to me.
Yes.
I was like wiped out of the records because I was the one targeted. It totally makes sense, though. So now, if I sound like a nit job to you,
on fire, though, Greg.
Too bad.
I see it.
This is happening. Look at Robert Lavoie Finnecke. Look at the negative press against Batman.
A power line
And
fell, dude.
Batman's honor is, being flushed down the toilet by the media. And what a man. Robert Lavoie Finnecke. Be sure you check him out. I'm gonna speak about him every chance I get, because he was murdered by our government on video, and it was, to my best knowledge, French mercenaries that played the part of the FBI that murdered him. I got that from a judge in that county, and I trust that.
My boat's on fire.
So you see that
See the black smoke?
they can't get people
No insurance.
within the system really to go that far, so they got to go to a French mercenary group, and it was Blackstone mercenaries responsible for Robert Lavoie Finnecke's murder. But that also means that somebody asked to have it done. And I say that goes all the way to Obama, if not stopping at the governor, Kate Brown. So, I'm going to add that into this whole tragedy scenario because I'm happy I was put on the street. Now, if some donations would happen so that I can at least manage my bills, that'd be nice. Because I've been at this since '09, and the persecution has brought me down because of what fascist book does to me. That's their form, and it's pretty devastating persecution. They shut me up. They offend my constitutional rights, and they shut me up off to where that people think I died. I can see the conversations. I'm not allowed to respond to anything. And people are talking about, is he gone? So I see that, and I can't even tell them I'm not dead. And then when I came back, I had a lot of people that, because I've been off for 239 days, forgot what I used to do. So please help us save the USA. Okay? Today? Should I rhyme some more? I don't care. Please. I'm HUSTUSA. Google HUSTUSA. And I wear this shirt today, and I've been wearing it since '09, because this is still going on. That's what Jeff Sessions is. These are greasy palm people that are, were put in place, and they're not just suddenly gone because Obama's gone. They're in positions where they get elected.
All right, this is probably the last shot we'll get of the whole boat sitting here. Stereo, trolling motor, and look, I always wondered if it really had Kevlar.
So, Google HUSTUSA.
It really did.
Arrest Hillary Clinton now. Oh, that reminds me. Oh, crap. I got to get to this. I'm going to find this. It should be easy to find. Yeah, here it is. This happened to me yesterday. I was parked at the Civic Center to use the library, and I got Arrest Hillary Now on the back of my window, written in red, white, and blue, and now I got it covered with plastic because the rain was kind of iffy for the last couple months, so I just left it covered because people were messing with it, and it's just in chalk. But yesterday, somebody taped this over the Arrest Hillary Now plastic covered chalk. Now, that is a mental case right there, okay? Arrest Hillary Now, I mean, certainly even this dipshit can think, oh yeah, she did do that Clorox thing to those hard drives. Yeah. Okay, some mental case, and probably one of the city employees did this. It was put on with, I've already thrown it away, black duct tape, and what looks like, kind of paper they'd have around. But anyhow, that was put on, at an angle. That's okay. And I always park at the security cameras, so today I'm going to go look at the footage, see who it was. So please help people. Stand up. Trump could use your support. You don't have to support me. Support Donald Trump. You hear somebody calling him, saying that he needs to be in prison, please say, for what? Okay? Please do that. I'm HUSTUSA, and I love you. God loves you, and God does do things in your life, and I bet you're too wrapped up in this fake life. That's what the fire did. Brought me out here, slowed me down, put me in moccasins again, and slowed me down and allowed me to see things that I was missing. And believe me, you're missing a lot of stuff. And it got so intense, he had to send a guy to explain the stuff to me. And once he explained it to me, then I started looking for the spiritual, supernatural stuff. And it's there. It's there. And it's wonderful because I've felt a cleansing. I've felt a physically, mentally, I have felt a cleansing of the really evil that was within me. Um, you know, becoming complacent with that phony lifestyle and never speaking about God. And so that's all reversed now. And it took that fire really to make it happen. Um, and of course, God in his miraculous ways that he's, and boy, do I got a bunch of stories about that. We won't, that'll take hours. And I've made videos on some of the stuff. But using crows to write the word prevail. He did that. Now, that's not just in the cartoons. And I believe that the cartoonists have had spiritual encounters where that, you know, they didn't just dream that one up. So, HUSTUSA, please Google that. Thank you, everybody. Good talking with you. I'll see you soon.